Hello, friends, family, YouTubers, whoever's watching this. I recently went on a 26-day yoga teacher training at Yandara in Baja, Mexico, and I wanted to share my experience. Going into it, I had no real idea what to expect, except that Yandara has really good reviews. And I knew one person that had been there that recommended it, who loved it. And then as I was going there, my friends that caught wind that I was going, I had another friend that actually went there and she loved it as well. And so if you don't know anyone and you're just, if you're just looking into Yandara at all, I'll try to give you a kind of an overview of my experience and what you can expect. So first thing, any of my expectations were far exceeded from what I imagined a yoga teacher training to be like. I can only say based off of this one experience. I don't know if they're all like this, I doubt it, but this was really more of a transformational experience. Way more personal growth and personal development than I even imagined. I started out, I think a lot of people start from the physical side of yoga where you're just doing, you're going to yoga classes and you like it and I wanted to further my development and my foundation of yoga, and I didn't even know if I wanted to teach. I just wanted to have a really good foundation of yoga after this, and I had no idea the spiritual depth that yoga has and the different branches of yoga that get into more meditation and mantra and all sorts of lessons about plainly just living a good life. So far exceeded my expectations. It was a 26-day 200-hour yoga teacher training, and it cost just over $3,000. And there's meals provided, lunch or breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then there's tea and fruit always available. And then you're doing yoga and study, so it's a mix of yoga and study. The day kind of looked like you'd wake up and 7:30 you would have a yoga class that would have a physical practice and then maybe a little bit of meditation, and then you would break for breakfast, and then you would come back for kind of yoga philosophy and yoga history. And so you get this yoga philosophy manual. It was nice. There's a lot of great information out in here. Things even to do with like your own yoga business, and then some of the sutras from Patanjali, the different branches of yoga, the chakras, all sorts of things. So it's really nice to get a little bit of history, and you go through some of this book, and there's more for you to read after the training, which I think is really nice to have some extra studying material. And you get this when you get there. And then you also get, I forgot, we were going through the day first, and then I'll tell you about the other stuff. So, and then after that class, the yoga philosophy and study, you go to lunch, and lunch is your longest break. It's like 2 hours or something, and then you go back for a workshop. And generally there's kind of different, there's yoga teacher training workshop, and then there's also some other workshops. Like we did a workshop on how to make money as a yoga teacher if you wanted. And then what was really nice about this training is you do so much actual teaching where we paired up, and I don't know if they do this every time, but they did this during mine, and I really liked it, where we're teaching each other, and they do it in increments where you start with a 15-minute segment, and then you ratchet up until at the end you're teaching a 70-minute class, and it's so nice to, you know, every day get some practice of like guiding people through yoga. So that was really nice. And then we also do workshops on specific poses. So you go through different ones like balance poses, back bends, and et cetera, all the kind of different categories. And then you actually do how to do them right, or as far as safely guiding people into the practice, and then also how to give assists or make suggestions, and how that process works. And they also give you, along those lines, they give you a yoga asana manual that you get there. And this has all like dozens and dozens of different poses. And it's really thorough in how it gives you the poses, and it also gives you assists and things to watch out for, how to deepen the pose, variations, getting into the pose, holding the pose, and kind of all aspects of all intricacies about each different pose and the varieties. So this is really nice too, especially if you're trying to incorporate new asanas in your practice. Then you can refer to this manual and kind of reminders of what to focus on to, you know, get people to do it safely. And like really the main emphasis is how to help people do yoga safely and to learn yoga safely. So this is really nice to have. And then after those workshops, you have a 15-minute break in between, and then you go to the second workshop. And then twice a week we did Satya for the second workshop, which is Truth Circle. It's basically a sharing circle, or like you just bring whatever's alive for you. And we did this with Christopher, who's absolutely amazing. He's like a wizard of transformation in helping you like navigate through whatever issues you're facing. Not to put any pressure on him, but I saw some like really beautiful progress in people, and realizations, and like how people opened up over the 26 days. It was really beautiful. Just being in a place of non-judgment and support, it was just so magical, and be doing that regularly throughout the training was really wonderful. So then after that, you break for dinner, and usually the circle runs a little bit late, so you're going to dinner a bit late. And then by the way, the food, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, is always amazing. It's really healthy and light, and the cooks are, thank you to the cooks, they're absolutely amazing. And there wasn't one thing on the menu that I didn't like. They get a lot of pressure to write a cookbook. They have yet to do that, but I could see why people say that. And then the evening, it alternates between doing restorative yoga class, and then also kirtan, and we do sing mantras with Mercy and Das, who are absolutely lovely. Das also does the astrology readings, which I got, and he is just magical. He's such a pleasure to sit with, and even if you don't believe in astrology, like just sitting with him and listening to him talk about life is really just a treat. And I got a lot out of the reading that he gave me, and I'm really thankful. It was almost just a emphasis, an affirmation that I'm kind of going in the right direction, which is nice. And then also the mantras you get to sing as a group, and it's just really a beautiful process to learn to just let go and open up, and another practice of doing something without judgment and letting yourself be free no matter what it's like. And Mercy and Das are wonderful musicians, so that was amazing. So yeah, those are and then so you end about 9:30 or so. So it's a long day. My first impression was that we're just going to be doing tons and tons and tons of yoga, like physical yoga, but I didn't realize there's so much of the philosophy side and music and meditation on all the different aspects of yoga. So we did do a lot of physical practice, but it wasn't as overwhelming as I thought. And yeah, I definitely recommend like getting into a consistent practice before you go. Just the better, like the more consistent you are, the better you're going to enjoy the physical practice there. The first week or so, I was like pretty tired just because I actually had been doing, relatively consistent, but not for long term. I'm still pretty inflexible in some ways, which, as you know, isn't a bad thing, but I sense myself straining a little bit at times. But it's definitely attainable, and don't let the physical side deter you. It's kind of go at your own pace when you're there. So you just meet yourself where you're at and show up, and it can be a really beautiful experience. And it was a good balance. They vary the classes, so they do understand it's a lot of work and then give you a certain amount of breaks. And then the facilities, there's a beautiful pool. It's right by the beach, like a 5-minute walk to the beach. There's a South Beach also. I will say, if you're going, swim at South Beach and stay away from the rocks. Just if you're not a great swimmer, anytime there's, and they'll tell you this too, anytime you're by rocks like this, there's more of a riptide that can kind of put you in precarious situations. And there was an incident, I won't name any names, but there was an incident while I was there. Everybody's safe and sound, but it was just a little bit scary. So just really, if you're gonna go swimming, stay away from the rocks and prefer going on South Beach. We did swim at North Beach. Definitely would be advised if you're a better swimmer. Just be careful, and they'll tell you that too. And then the tents, so there's different accommodation. The tent, I stayed in the lowest accommodation. You can bring your own tent, which is the one thing, would be nice. And then I stayed in their tents, and it has a bed and like a nightstand, and it was okay. It is like you're in a tent outside, but it's like the bed's off the ground, so it gives you a little bit more comfort. I will say that the upgraded tent, the like bohemian luxury tent that you can upgrade it to, is much nicer. They have a full-size bed and like actual furniture, and it is it looks really nice. And part of me was a little jealous of the people that had the really nice tents, but also I kind of liked that, yoga is about there's a part of it that is simplicity and being okay with whatever you have, and which I really like that aspect. But they are really nice, so consider it. But yeah, there's 3 studios, and they're all beautiful. The beach studio, the kitchen studio, and the other studio, I'm not sure what it's called. But on Fridays we also did like free flow dance nights that were just absolutely amazing. I couldn't get enough of those. I just like drenched in sweat by the end. You're just dancing for a couple hours, just really letting go. And it's a beautiful, like, safe, fun and freeing environment. So it was like really nice practice. And you can use the studios anytime. There's plenty of props and things like that for you to use. I think the thing that really, it's a great place, a great facility, but the thing that makes the experience is really the teachers, and there's a wide, like, they all give you a different experience. And so I just want to give thanks to Craig and Christopher, who it's a father and son, so Craig's father and Christopher's the son, and they've been helping with this for years, over a decade or more. I don't remember exactly how long, but quite a long time. So they're really well practiced. And then also the other teachers that have also been there for, in some cases years, were just so wonderful. And like you really, Dayanam, Anne, Allison, Mercy, Doss, Kylie, Vanessa, Justin, you can really like feel that they're really like living like a yogic lifestyle, and they are doing trainings all throughout the year. So they're really embodying these things and putting them to the practice like daily through, and it really, really shows. And they live right there too. Some of them live next to the facility in Baja, and so they're there all the time, and they've built their life around this, and I just think it really shows. And they all have their different kind of characteristics, and I think people related to different teachers more or less, but there was no teacher that I just didn't get along with or like see value in. Craig is super funny, and I think he can seem nonchalant sometimes, but it's also a lesson at the same time, and showing like the different variations of yoga, and kind of, he shows in some ways where there's certain aspects of yoga that, in some eyes get taken too seriously, and can kind of take the value of like non-judgment and like living a good life and like about feeling good. And so I think he really embodies that, and he's such a great, like, I feel like he really understands teaching aspects and how people's energies come across, and how to get to your, finding you in your teaching style. And he does a really great job. And then Christopher is also so lovely, and really like has like you can sense like the depth of like investment in the practice, and how it translates, of like he is really trying to be the lessons that he's teaching. And it's so nice. And so you get this like a little bit of yin and yang too from the two, which I don't want to, it's like I could talk about every teacher, but I love them all, and they all have different things to relate to and different lessons to share, and I'm just so thankful to every single one of them. If I went on this video would just be way too long, so I won't go into it, but I love them all. And then also I went during a special time during COVID, and so we had a particularly small group, and so it was really nice to be able to connect intimately and connect more with the teachers and get more time, one-on-one time. I would say if anyone's going to do a yoga training right now, this is like such a good time to go. Like, so much introspection time, and the world is in chaos, and so it's really nice to like dive deep and find that sense of contentment within ourselves. You buy a yoga anatomy book. It's a really good book. Use it for the study guide that you have to do. I will say I was a little worried about the anatomy and the learning the asana names, the Sanskrit names. It is really important to do it, but it's not like there's not like a pass or fail test that you should stress out about. Like, learn them, and the more you learn it, the better experience you're going to have while you're there. But it still is, they're not going to be like, oh, you failed and you like can't do the yoga training. It's like you still get so, it's about being there. Like really the juice is in the experience. And then you also will get this book, or you buy this book beforehand. This is also a great book. Talks about the asanas, and it's really like yoga is like mind, body, and spirit. And I'll just leave you with that. Is I went into yoga from a physical perspective of like just getting fit and helping other people stay healthy through fitness, but the yoga to physical practice, from kind of how it was, that what I got out of it is actually originally to be able to sit in meditation longer and practice like self-control, and listening to your body and your emotions. So it's the physical practice actually goes back to having a more mindful practice, and then actually connecting more on a spiritual level. And so they're all intertwined. You can't have one of these without the other in this human experience. And so I'll leave you with that. Yoga teacher training at Yandara was absolutely wonderful. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a yoga teacher training. And yeah, please let me know if you have any questions in the comments, or let me know what other yoga topics you want to hear about. I'll be making more videos, so I look forward to having a conversation. All right, bye.